Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Tessadoodle and I will be your host today. Today we are going to be working on ears. Now in my experience, ears are really weird and just difficult to draw. We are going to be working on drawing on different angles together, but I'm not going to go like in depth with drawing ears. I'm just going to cover the basics that I understand. So we're going to figure this out. And before we do that, we're going to be taking our sip of the day, the thing that starts our drawing process, that gets our brain to start moving towards art stuff. I don't know, something like that. That's what I think of it as. I like to go and take a sip of coffee or any other beverage that I have to indicate, all right, we're going to start drawing today. So if you'd like to do that, go ahead and grab a cup, a mug, a bowl, if you want to be weird. Or if you want to get a water bottle, you can, because that's what I have. But mainly, we have our cups, mugs, and bowls. All right, that's just how it goes here. Go ahead and grab your favorite beverage, whatever it may be. Go and grab it from the kitchen, take your beverage, and let's take a sip together in 3, 2, 1. I have water today. Water's good for you. Drink it. Keeps you hydrated. You can have other stuff, but water's important. Make sure you drink it. Alright everyone, so like I've said, we're going to be starting on ears today. Ears, yes, ears are very complicated looking things, but we're going to work on them because what's not a better way than to try to figure out how ears work together. Alright, so I'm going to be breaking down what I see in the ear. You may break it down differently, but I know a lot of artists do this. But let me get colors first. So we're going to use red, blue, and green just to kind of break things up easier. There we go. I did yellow instead of green, but we're doing green. Alright, so let's break this down. So we have, I'm going to call it the outer part of the ear. This is, I look at this as kind of like a C shape, but you also have it curling in the very center of the ear, is what I can tell. So, yeah, okay. Well, so you have the outside, which is the red. And then you have the Y, I'm going to call this the Y, is the blue color there. Normally it's kind of in the shape of a Y, it's a very curled Y. That's normally how ears look that I understand. And then you have the inside, which is kind of, we can call it like a third layer, just that kind of goes near and into the ear canal, except for up there. We're kind of just doing it in layers. You have the outside, the semi-inside, which is the inside Y, we could call that, and then the green, which is the complete inside of the ear. I don't know how to really break it up, but this is what I see. I think this is the easiest way to break it down, that I think it works that way, is break it down into different parts to make it easier. And there's the jawline. Might as well put a jawline there. Gotta add that jawline. Alright. So now we're gonna go ahead and just draw the ear next to the real ear. And I gotta get this pencil right because if this is not right, it's gonna be annoying as heck. And I like to draw in pencil in my program because it just feels more like a sketch rather than having solid lines. Alright, so now we're gonna do the outside portion, the red portion of the ear. It's kind of like a C if you really look at it. It's like a kind of uneven C. And so you have the top of the ear, it comes down, and then you have this little hanging piece right there. And that's where like people have their earrings and all of that, or at least their hanging earrings. Alright, and we're just gonna kind of follow that outside curve and curve down. And then we're gonna add the Y in there. We have this little bump here, and then we kind of go into this little squiggly line area that connects to the center of the ear again, and then you have the ear canal. And again, it doesn't quite look like a Y, but normally people see it as a Y. When I have looked at how other people do it, they just think of that as a Y, so might as well just kind of follow along because it makes it easier. Now I'm going to fill this in to make it a lot easier to see what sections are what. If I'm horrible at explaining this, I apologize. I'm not good at teaching people. This is why we're doing this together, so we can kind of figure it out. There's our blue, that's our Y that we have. So we'll do red is first layer, blue is second layer, and then green is third layer. And then you have the ear canal right there. And we're gonna fill that in with the green, and that kind of gives you an idea of what goes where. I have not tried to experiment and expand or like make the ear longer. That's something I'll do later once I've drawn ears more. But you are more welcome to test it out if you are interested in doing that. Just go for it. Draw a couple of ears. Mess with the ears a little bit, see if it looks right. Alright, so I'm trying to draw this backwards, and it was so difficult. So difficult to be able to draw this backwards. I'm like really confused. Drawing this backwards is hard. It's you gotta like reverse flip things, and it's kind of confusing. But if you remember, you have the outside layer of the ear where it curls into the center, and then you curl it all the way around. Then you want to add kind of the Y into there, which kind of connects down into the red a little bit, and then it goes into that weird squiggly part. I'm sorry, I'm so bad at explaining this, but I hope you guys somewhat understand what I'm trying to get at in this. You can, okay, so I'll tell you this. You can make ears, you can think of ear, wow, you can, English, you can think a ear looks right when you don't look at them often. I've done that a lot actually, just trying to draw them from memory, and I failed miserably. And even though it looked right, I went back and I looked at an actual ear, and I'm like, oh, I think I did that wrong. But always look at references. I know you can't find a lot of you can look up what an ear looks like. That's easy enough, but it just gives you a front view. but a view from, or you could say, we'll say this, we'll say the side of the head. You can see an ear from the side of the head, but you can't actually find a lot of pictures that show you an ear from the front of the head and pan all the way around and go to the back of the head as well. That's something you're probably going to have to use yourself as a reference, is go into your room, do whatever you want, get your camera and take a picture from the front, and then kind of do like a pan all around your, like take pictures all around your head and then zoom in on your ear, and you can kind of get an idea of what will your ear look like from this way and that way. And there are multiple ears that are like different, but that's later on, once you get used to what an ear looks like and you can like draw it a certain way, then you can go and like experiment with different ears, or you could do it now. It doesn't matter. That's just what I would do. But this is me. As you can see, what I'm doing here is I'm doing kind of what I told you. I have a picture of the front of the ear, or facing the front of the face. You can see kind of what an ear looks like, and honestly, that ear looks wacky as heck, but we're still gonna draw it. And for this, for people who are doing digital art, you can do you could do color into it. Color actually makes it look a lot better. So I would suggest doing that if you can, if you have a digital program. You can kind of do what I'm doing here, is just get like 3 or 4 tones of the ear and then kind of do shading. And that can also help you with figuring out how shading works as well. Shading, I will get into that another video, even though I'm horrible at it. There are ways to figure out how lighting works. 3D objects are really important, and later on I'll probably do something on 3D objects. 3D objects are like one of the main things you want to learn, is how 3D objects how they look and how you can flip them around and make them look a certain way and all of that jazz. But that is for now. Well, I guess you probably do want to do you probably do want to work on 3D objects, but if you already kind of know a little bit about it, you can pretty much try whatever. You don't have to do what I'm saying. But this is, for me, I wanted to work on ears, so I thought might as well work on ears. But I am finished with this. I have put all of the ears in all one picture. It looks really weird. I can't figure out, it's not very clear on the second to last right one, the one that was supposed to kind of be from the back, not exactly the back one, not the one all the way on the right, but the one up right next to it. That one, you can't really tell what the perspective is. It just looks like a jumble of things. It's weird. And so that's where it turns out where you just gotta work on things, because it's just how it goes. And I obviously can use improvement. Alright, so I'm semi happy with this. I would probably give this about, we're gonna give this about a 4 out of 10 stars. I'm not exactly happy with these, but I'm glad I actually kind of learned how ears worked a little bit. And of course it's gonna take time to learn how these work, how to draw them at different angles. It takes a lot of time. You just gotta practice, unfortunately, but that's how it goes. But if you just want to try drawing different ears, just go for it. Just start drawing them a little bit. You can just do 1 or 2, or you can do multiple. You can go grab one of your friends or family and tell them to sit still and let me draw your ear real quick. But I think that will be all for today. So we're gonna do positives and negatives. We're gonna do our critiquing that I can see. Now let's do the positive first. So I really like how I'm able to get this shading down. I just added that in because I thought it would work for what I was doing to get an idea of it. I like the shading a lot. Now for the negative, I think it could definitely work on making things clearer, because it is a little confusing on 1 or 2 of the ears here, and I can definitely work on just drawing ears more and trying to make them look more realistic. And later on I might do some earrings, or if someone wanted to do hoop earrings or something similar. But for me, I think that's pretty much all there is that I can really critique that I see. But if you guys have enjoyed this little video on ears, go ahead and try it out. Go draw a little bit, or draw while you're listening, whatever you'd like to do. And I am going to head out, so I will see you guys in the next video, and have a wonderful day.